You know something needs to get done. Maybe it's homework, a project, an email you've been avoiding, and all day, you keep telling yourself the same thing. I'll do it later. At first, it feels reasonable. You'll start after dinner, after one more video, after checking your phone for a minute. But somehow, later keeps moving, and eventually, the pressure starts building. Now the task feels even bigger than it did before. You start feeling guilty for putting it off, which makes you want to avoid it even more. So why do we do this? Why do humans procrastinate, even when we know it usually makes things worse? Most people assume procrastination is caused by laziness, but that's usually not true. In many cases, people procrastinate because they care too much, not too little. The answer starts with how your brain responds to discomfort. When you think about a difficult task, your brain doesn't just process the task itself, it also processes the emotions connected to it. Stress, pressure, boredom, fear of failure, sometimes even fear of success. And your brain naturally wants to avoid unpleasant feelings. So when a task makes you feel uncomfortable, your brain looks for relief, something easier, something more rewarding, something that feels good right now. That's why procrastination often leads to things like scrolling social media, watching videos, snacking, or cleaning things that suddenly seem extremely important. Your brain isn't choosing what matters most. It's choosing what feels best in the moment. And when you avoid the difficult task, you usually feel immediate relief. For a little while, the stress goes away, and that relief is important because your brain remembers it. It learns that avoiding the task temporarily reduces discomfort, which means the next time you feel stressed, your brain becomes even more likely to procrastinate again. And that's how the cycle starts. The task creates stress, you avoid it, you feel relief, and your brain rewards the avoidance. But eventually, reality catches up. Deadlines get closer, pressure increases, and now the task feels even more emotionally overwhelming than before, which often leads to even more procrastination. It becomes a loop. And interestingly, this is why people often procrastinate more on important tasks than easy ones. The more something matters to you, the more emotional weight it carries. A small task might feel annoying, but a major project or something tied to your future can trigger much stronger emotions, which makes avoidance more tempting. Perfectionism can also play a major role. Sometimes people procrastinate because they want something to be done perfectly. And if they're afraid they can't meet that standard, they delay starting altogether. Because as long as the work hasn't started, it hasn't failed yet. That's why procrastination often has less to do with time management and more to do with emotional management. Your brain is trying to protect you from stress, uncertainty, or discomfort. The problem is that short-term relief creates long-term stress, and modern technology makes this even harder. Your phone, social media, games, videos, they all provide instant stimulation, instant rewards. Compared to something difficult or boring, those distractions are incredibly appealing to the brain, especially when you're already stressed. So procrastination isn't really about being irresponsible. It's about your brain choosing immediate comfort over future benefit. And humans are naturally wired to do that because for most of human history, surviving the present moment mattered more than planning far into the future. But in modern life, that instinct can work against us. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it later," it might not mean you're lazy. It might mean your brain is trying to escape discomfort the fastest way it knows how. And understanding that is the first step toward breaking the cycle. This has been Questions Answered. If there's another everyday thing you've wondered about, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy learning the hidden reasons behind things we see all the time, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.